Good afternoon to everyone, and I hope other people will join us. The session starts with the presentations on math system, and today it is difficult to imagine develop company without math systems. And Sergei Tsvetkov will share about the software and solutions. Distinguished colleagues, I'm happy to welcome you and also the ones who are online and the ones who managed to join us in person. All of us during the pandemic years, even the years of pandemics, are not used to this format, but I hope everything will return. I'm Sergei Tsvetkov, CEO for Business Development of Klimpton Group, Klimpman Group of Companies. Is a distributor of software. Our key vendor is Aviva, and my presentation will have much in common with the session before lunch, and especially with the scenes delivered by Sergei Mashev. We are operating in CIS countries, including Kazakhstan, and what is important, in Kazakhstan, we have Klinkman Kazakhstan LLP, and everything I am presenting to you, you can procure, you can buy in Kazakhstan. Being a distributing company, we are dealing with classical activities as distributors. We are promoting products, we provide pre-sale services, selection of architectures, optimization, selection of best solution, clients training, and post-sale service. Some projects are implemented by our partner system integrators. The slides that you have seen, Sergey has shown it. What actually do we propose for the companies in this sector? We propose the whole scope solutions starting from automatic control system, data storage system, corporate math systems, planning systems, and business processes system. Actually, the entire cycle of enterprise management. One more slide, and Sergey has mentioned this problem, and I'll also touch upon it. Actually, at every modern mining company, the level of scanning system, SCADA system, ERP level is developed, but at the most important level, at company management, we observe the same picture. And MES encoding as a Microsoft Excel system is not a joke anymore. For entire picture to create comprehensive solution, we propose that these functional blocks were closed, uniform data, integration, gate, analysis plan and fact, and people and process management. And if it's onto products, and I would allow myself go down, these products as Aviva system platform are meant for construction, physical digital model of an enterprise. Aviva MES, Aviva Manufacturing Executing System, allows to work with data at another level of abstraction with industrial orders, with balances of material flows considering their quality and quantity. Actually, these are the things that establish uniform environment, uniform system of company management. And Aviva Work Task is a module that combines industrial processes performed by people and performed by various systems. Why? Why Aviva? Why underwear? Because we were known as underwear trademark. Now it's Aviva Aviva is the biggest for the moment producer of software for industrial automation, and Aviva portfolio includes the whole set of software products starting from engineering that is used by designers, then EPC contractors, and the entire layer of software to control technological processes, manufacturing processes. So Aveva EMS products in Gartner reports for in 2019 and 2021 were called as leaders. It proves the quality of the products, and it proves that this product deserves consideration and inclusion into short list. In my opinion, even the more important aspect is the feedback from our clients who already implemented their projects using our solutions. Several examples is GRK Быстринская, a complex system of concentrator. Why this project was interesting? It was implemented simultaneously with mining concentrated achievement its design capacity, and one of the key indicators after this project implementation according to the client was that they managed to decrease the terms for the combined work achievement design capacity, but actually it can be converted to funds and it can be converted to recovery on investments. Unfortunately, we have difficulties with audio, but what Mr. Pshichenko, at the time he was the head of DIT, Быстринский mining and concentrating plant, tells actually he delivers what I have already mentioned. And now we can meet these videos. Oh, actually another example, it's Affinage, it's Krasnoyarsk plant of non-ferrous metals. The specific of this project is obvious objectives. For the plans, they were obvious, but they are non-standard. As they identify the task they need to get resolved, and one of these tasks of implementation of the system was a reduction of the time that does not add value, as the less products is in processing, the more the company gains. That was a way to calculate the economy. And one of the chains in flow of gold allow in this chain it was possible to decrease this time that does not deliver value was 30 times. Actually, they recovered their project investments quite fastly. And another project, another implementation, a little bit it's another aspect. It's a concept of unified operations center. This is Aveva and our company are promoting. It is a unified control center that was established for control of 3 underground mines and on-the-ground complexes. This project was implemented in South Africa, and the project resulted in up to 10% growth of productivity. Here we're talking about the economy and additional profits. Actually, we have unified the systems and combined the data together, and one window for a single window for access to single version. Actually, the company marked significant reduction in injuries, but
we will not spend time on our video. I will save your time, but This is central control room. It's the new facility, quite impressive wall, and even a disaster recovery was created 4 kilometers away. Uh, Everything in real time. And if there's any situation, so this is a double-digit growth in productivity. To conclude, I'm going to show you a video and the concepts and our vision for a model mining processing plants. We prepared a demonstration stand. There is a video and the demonstration wall. If you're interested, come and talk to me or Yuri Mironov, who is here with us too, from Clinton, Kazakhstan company, our distributing company. This is based on a system platform with description of a physical model of the company Aviva EMS, MS, and work task. EMS serves for production management, and MA task helps to integrate the work of production systems and human resources. This is a typical process starting from production and going up to uh, concentrates manufacturing. With that, I would like to conclude and thank you for your attention. You can find my contact details from organizer. Thank you, Sergey. Now we will talk about 3D modeling in geology, and Asim Gulimantayeva is going to explain about it. Good afternoon. My name is Asim Gulimantayeva. I'm from KATCO in geological modeling section. I'm going to present a process of 3D modeling for uranium deposits and KATCO experience. This is a working process. It took several years to develop it, and we're still improving. I'm going to introduce the company, explain about geology. So the name of the company is KATCO. It was established in 1997, and stakeholders of KATCO include Orano with 51% of shares and Kazatomprom 49%. Mainkum is the deposit which is located in Turkestan region in Suzak district. Annual production of KATCO ranges between 3,200 tons of uranium to 4,000 tons since 2009, corresponding to 7% of the global uranium production in the world. Renault is the company that is well represented and operates in several countries, including Mongolia, Uzbekistan, and Uzbekistan. Mainkum deposits is an uranium deposit. The roll front deposits are characterized by epigenetic uranium mineralization and an oxidation, reduction, redox interface within a permeable sandstone formation. Прочитала.
Вот это.
Your overlying pelagian strata are divided into three horizons, from oldest to youngest, the Kanchagan horizon, Paleocene, and Huluk-Ekans horizon, lower middle Eocene. The processing method for this type of deposit is called underwater well leaching, and this picture shows that the opening section include 6 wells with the leaching solution, and in the middle the production well, which pumps out this solution. The whole cycle is shown on this slide, and the process of modeling begins with design, geology, and going up to the closure of the mine. Now we will focus on the modeling. The purpose of 3 modeling is to have a better understanding of geology, morphology, continuity and structures, estimation of reserves, identification of new potential, definition of production level, screen positioning, design of operational block contour, hydrodynamic simulation, and geochemistry are aimed for better mining planning, leaching efficiency, and also reactive transport simulation, which I'm going to explain a bit later. This is an overall workflow, step by step. First, we identify the deposit. We go to stratigraphic markers position, 3D grid, dimension, layering, upscaling, analysis of data, 3D modeling, production levels and reserves calculation, mapping, and everything is integrated into the other software that are quite well integrated. The entry input data includes all types of verified data. It includes different types of characteristics such as gamma ray log, resistivity log, spontaneous polarization, caliper measurement, cross sections, geochemistry, operational blocks, contours, and the next step, one of the important steps, includes quality control. There are 2 types, which includes visual verification and digital verification. I won't focus on them later. What is included into the model building 3 types of data, which would include login data with code description. These are 3 types of logs, and then we build the 3D grid construction depending on the density of drilling with geostatistical data. Interpolation is based on kriging method, cringing method, and you can also use any other method, but for this deposit we opted for kriging methods. To verify the model, we have experts to make sure that the geological data is relevant. Estimation of reserves, because this 3D modeling may not be considered as reliable and formal data. We still use them for statistical purposes, and uncertainty varies between 5 to 7%. You see a list of clouds which can correlate quite well. The whole process is well aligned. It begins with geology and goes up to production, which allows in a fast way to update the model with the new wells. We have different templates and documents. And now, how these geological models are used. Once we know the geology data, we turn into simulation to enable some reviews and surveys. I'm going to speak about the modeling of mass transition, which allow us to optimize production, to have a mining plan, and even look into environmental impacts. The software itself is named high tech. It has input data, which include 3D geological model, geochemistry, and uh, debit concentration, pH data. Uh, Altogether, the goal of this method or approach is to combine hydrodynamic and biochemical processes taking place in a layer and to have an analysis thereof. One of the ways for forecasts of production for different types of scenarios. I'm going to demonstrate a video. Unfortunately, I cannot put it on. All right, so we used 1D and 2D for analysis of data, and we looked into 3D to have a better understanding of geology. So here we apply 4D input data with taking into consideration time, duration, and biochemical processes taking place in the layer, which help us to define excess, surplus, or deficit of specific minerals in the layer. But in general, that's all I wanted to present. So thank you, Asimgul. Most part of our data relating solutions most likely will not work without infrastructure, and Marcin Kostau is going to speak about it. Hello, everybody. Let's get started. 20 years ago, I was working in London and found a Mexican restaurant where they put a message: apologies, we don't speak English, but we will not mess with your Spanish. I apologize. This is my first presentation in Russian, but I hope that it will work. My name is Marcin Kushtal, and I work for the company Roger Corporation, Business Development Manager for Eastern Europe and CIS countries. Couple of words about the company. The Rajan company is a manufacturer of private mobile network cell-based topology kinetic mesh.
History started in 2021 after the attack on World Trade Center. It was the first solution to ensure voice communication for emergency situation, and today we are working at many markets. They include port, transport, logistics, automation of shops and so on. It is possible to say that we are present in the majority regions of the world. More than 70 countries use our devices. What do we know about mines? As for now, our devices operate in more than 230 mines all over the globe. Actually, in 63 countries. On this map, you see only a part. Kazakhstan should be also marked here. The first communication was constructed in 2014. And with the Russian Federation, we completed the first project at the end of last year together with Nickel. Just look at the list of our clients. They are the biggest global companies: Anglo American, BHP, Kinross, and other companies. I would like to say some words about what does digitalization of industry mean. If we have a look at the challenges that mining is facing, we had the same challenges all the time that include improvement of productivity and risk reduction. All these processes started not yesterday and not 10 years ago. The same was happening in Egypt during pyramid construction. The same situation existed 100 years ago and nowadays. If we have a look at the challenges that we are facing nowadays at the mines, they're permanent. All the time we're talking about landscape. No mine is established once and forever. Every day something changes. Blasting operations means that the landscape and topography changes all the time. Maybe it is a weather, maybe it is a lack of staff. Actually, it is a big problem all over the globe, and we don't have people who would like to work in their mines and perform very hard work. And the biggest challenge nowadays is digital transformation. At every conference, you will be able to hear that everybody is involved in digital transformation, that everything is changing further and further. But what does it really mean? What beast it is? Who remembers these pictures? I made this photo 8 years ago at the biggest mine at Czech Republic. The biggest mine, actually, it is an underground mine for more than 50 units of equipment. And 8 years ago, they have only telemetry caterpillar based. All the other reports, all the other reports, all the other information was delivered on paper. 4 years ago, I made this photo at Ukraine. Actually, dispatcherization from Canadian company was already here, and remote operations were available for some machinery, and it is possible to say that it was a digital mine, but they had much more problems with communication, with data transfer. All digitalization, all the technology at the end of the day are people. Technology exists just to release specialists from their work, so that everything was simplified. Let us look at the data that we receive today. We, and we have a question. Are these data important for you or not? If we have a look at what can be gained today and what are the services and what are applications available at the mines, with every day they get more and more numerous. New solutions, new services appear with every day. And the entire globe would like to simplify their work and to work faster. 8 years ago, as I have mentioned, they had only telemetry. Now we have even more. Dispatcherization is a standard, but autonomization of the equipment is another solution, and it is even higher challenge for all of us. Drone-based inspection, and it gets more and more. And it is just a very short list. And I hope that you have at least 10 or 15 services that need to be connected to the same operational office and need to be connected to the same communication grid. On this slide, to ensure communication. Actually, communication represents a lot of challenges. It is easy to say that we'll make a coverage zone and everything will operate, but it will operate only in the office and not in the mine and not in the site which changes every day. Well, establishment of coverage with network after the changes in the infrastructure topography of mine. This is the first challenge and the most important thing is to receive the information or the information, and you have to admit that without network no service will be operational. The network should be operational 24/7 and there is no need, and it is impossible when the network works 3 hours a day and that's all. And the same question for you. To which extent the data are important? To make it faster. On this slide, you see a brief information on what we are doing. What we are doing to connect all the devices, all the machinery in the communications that will be working, that will exist, that will operate, that must transform all the information from website, from technique, from machinery to the and deliver it to the office. First of all, we are talking about dynamic adaptation, meaning high reliability. It means that more devices, more machinery would mean that our communication should work better. And that includes mobile communication. It means that we are not seeking for the point of access or the coverage zone, and the communication which is not afraid of interferences. If what could be the problems? Could be the problems related to topography. If we face topography issues, and our communication grid will itself decide how communication will be constructed. If you look at topology networks operated all over the globe, point-to-point communication, it's an Apple Wi-Fi. We have point to multiple point, and our solution kinetic mesh. Which solution is better depends upon your specialist, your IT engineers. Maybe this issue should not be placed on the service producers. I used to work as a service producer, and I never cared what type of communication operates in the mine. Several words about the things that exist and the things that are operational. Wi-Fi or mesh Wi-Fi communication, it is a standard, but the first problem here is a poor coverage zone. When we have to switch off one access point because operation blast in operational plant, then uh, switching this point on would require time. And in this case, IT engineers have to do something, and they should be always available. Communication with Bash dashboard. It operates as Wi-Fi communication, and all the times they face the issue with coverage zone, and the price is another thing because everything depends upon the company's budget. For one companies it will be expensive, for the other companies it will be cheap. And one more solution, I so that you are informed about it and you have discussed it with telecom companies and with operators who promised to establish a solution called private LTE or 5G. The first thing is this communication will never be your own and you will be dependent upon the operator. The second one is the price. The price is a problem. It is a problem because our model of business of telecom operator is something different than establishment of communication for mines. And I can explain to you these details at our booth. And the most important problem is topology or technical solutions. Private LTE and 5G communication are created to receive the data but not to send the data. But who will watch video in 3K at the mine? It will be this problem will keep on existing, and you can discuss it with your friends who made pilots here in Kazakhstan. And I think in Kazakhstan, Beeline company did a lot of pilots, but what were the results, how it works, and what are the opportunities to send video observation or other data from the mine or from the operational sites to the office? Our technology was constructed for mobility. We have no information and there is no sense for us to care about access points. Simultaneously, it is just much more than ordinary communication. We have no central controlling device. The system operates on multiple frequencies, no less that two frequencies or channels of 2.5 gigahertz. It's kind of 5 in 1. Retranslator is a client, is access point commutator, and it can also operate as Wi-Fi access points. And the last thing is a system or software for personal and machinery monitoring. It operates even in poor weather conditions. So it actually can be installed at your server. Actually, I have only 1 minute.
Some technical details and the latest equipment, speeds that we can achieve today. It's even faster than 5G, which you can get from telecommunication services providers. We have solutions for open mines, for underground mines, where the equipment function for communication, access notes. We can open it for tablets, and we can offer a hybrid solution, meaning that at the same time you will be able to communicate with equipment. There will be a Wi-Fi access for manual technologies, and it will be possible even if you don't have access to internet, but still have to send your uh, data from these sites to control units. And this is a range of our products, starting from the small one, which require a drone, up to the large-scale equipment, which operates on the basis of excavators or trucks. And the last question, which technology is the best? It is true. I found when I was preparing this presentation, I found a device 15 and more years old, and most important, that device, which today is 15 years old, is going to communicate with our up-to-date device. We have no end for our products. That means that all minds that began working with us 15 years ago, they didn't have any interruption because they had to change their communication devices. With that, I conclude, and I hope it was clear. Thank you. Thank you, Martin. Our next story about 3D experience, allowing to have a comprehensive approach to the mining sector. Nikolai Kamensky, the key company. Good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Kamensky Nikolai, and I'm the key company representative. We have been operational in the market for over 20 years, and we are dealing with geological survey, projection and estimation of reserves, and we design any type of production methods, including the leaching methods. And we use different software. We actively use Leapfrog, Macromine, GeoSLPack, and probably we're so good that there's a system companies that owns GeoSLPack software selected us as its partner, and since that time we started to closer look into the products offered by that company and found an interesting product that is a kind of an overarching solution consumed by other companies, used by other companies. You know quite well that companies operating in Kazakhstan, they use different software and products. And it's interesting that in the same company, we have various software circulating throughout, and which may lead to a disruption between a specific section and project when you deal with different sets of data. At some point, you may end up having inconsistency because time is wasted, and people would have to catch up. It's not a rare situation, and they end up having entirely opposite pieces of data. So it may take place once in 3 months, once in 6 months, when the problem occurs. So to avoid such situations, we introduce 3D experience platform to avoid such situations and to prevent conflicts. This is the platform that absorbs anything. In addition to what Cherry Surpak offers in its range of products with 3D modeling, design, economic parameters, and so on, it can also launch and process data that is produced by data mine, micromine, Vulkan, everything from AutoCAD and in any other products in 3D modeling, 2D modeling. It consolidates them all, and any department who have access to this system, they enjoy the latest version of data set available from the server. It can be organized in a form of a cloud storage facility available from any location over the world, or it can use its own server to provide a better security for data, which will have limited access and provided only to the group administering this, that is responsible for administration of this storage facility. There's also a possibility to informally communicate on the projects. Everything what you're doing through social media, using Wi-Fi, WhatsApp and Telegram, you share any data. All these elements and actions are available in this software within the planner, and this information will be closed for a third party, for any outside party. In fact, the range of products is pretty wide, and we offer our products to different companies, including Rosatom company, and their comment is about the speed of processing of their requests and queries, and they're actually ahead of their plan, ahead of their schedule. Any mining company, it's kind of an independent structure. They have everything. They have geology, and in addition to historical data at a time collected at a time of survey and exploration phase, going up to and it also covers the equipment which is consumed, and also the assets and some other supplies that have to be supplied to make sure that the equipment is maintained and operational. So everything can be modeled and connected with each other, going up to the processing plants, and even connect them with financing tools. Financing tools such as 1S or any other software. They're all integrable between each other. And the company employees have a better idea about the cost, how much you have to spend at the moment or later, given the changing realities, given the changing costs, with taking into account inflation, devaluation, deficit issues, and so on. I also wanted, I think you've seen it from your work, the speed of coordination and reconciliation of the documents and decision-making process. They rely a lot on certain steps, such as an employee who completed a task and who stopped, whose duties are over. And sometimes the documents are not moved while a person or an employee is absent. So this is the software that does not allow you to forget about any process. If you set up proper parameters, it's pretty easy in use. The document for decision making has to be approved by specific persons by names. And if this specific employee failed to sign the documents, there could be the systems give you an alert or a flag notifying you that this operation is stuck. So you can always fine tune your elements, how long it will sit before decision is made. It could be a manager who undertakes this decision on behalf of his or her employee. And in fact, everything what you see in this picture can be linked to any step in the chain in one software, and this can be stored on the cloud, in the cloud, or on server. And also you can provide access to those categories whom you want to have this access, so that the employees, only those who have access will be granted such access and such possibility. User-friendly interface allowing to address various tasks. These are the solutions based on Serpal data system. They are quite well integrated, but other solutions can be integrated too with the same rights and level of digitalization. Why is it necessary? The software is very expensive, and it's not economically feasible and viable to purchase them for each employee, including general manager. So the planning department that is dealing with all the plans has to be aware of what's going on. So for this employee, it is sufficient to have what you have in your plan and what you and where it brought you. So this allows you to have comparison. It can be compared in Excel tables, and it can be compared in 3D model to clearly see where the lagging behind taking place. Here is an interface. It's a personal one. It can be personified for each employee responsible for a specific process. The higher access level, it has, in fact, you don't have to bring more headaches to your manager. You have to issue some kind of consolidated data or information which is necessary for decision-making process by your leadership. And having this plan, action plan, or documents, you can easily find out persons who've been responsible for its design and performance and actual works. If you want to plan for that, the project, the software is very soft. If you like Microsoft, you can continue to work in Microsoft, but you simply download some extra data, adjust it, and give the results in your desired format.
Вот то, что я видел, показываю здесь.
On this slide, you see the designed part of the mine, and it, depending upon the frequency of surveying and comparison of primary geological data. You can have once a month or once a week. You can show what are the changes in indicators and changes in the mine. Actually, the platform provides a full cycle of enterprise management, and you can include everything from the idea and connect all the events so as the spares were delivered on time, maintenance were done on time, and training provided on time. Thus, you have optimum stock at your warehouses, and it's very important, and I'll repeat, you should always use the most relevant information. And it appears that people who are working on site spend uh, time for finding relevant information which is really balanced and checked. As I have already mentioned, the key objective of platform is to manage life cycle of a company and simplify this work, as now we have all type of products and they produce so much information that sometimes the people would get lost with it, and when people are got lost they are wasting time and decision making is delayed or wrong decision is made. This platform removes or minimizes the risks I have mentioned. On the slide you see the way how the system works, and I would request the people who are working at the booth provided access to presentation, and on this presentation you'll find the link to webinar that lasts couple hours, and if you are interested you can listen and you'll get more details than I can give you in this presentation. And the functions of this software product. Actually, absolutely different software products can be involved into a system. PDF files can be involved, Word, Excel, 3D and 2D data can be included, as well as databases. If some surveyor finds that some undesired event is happening in the open pit or in the mine, or a crack appeared on the wall of a pit, one can just take a photo and send to a decision-making service, or water seepage or any process that is believed important can be fixed and sent via WhatsApp or transmit the file. But this file will be processed and it get to the right service, to right persons, and the system would provide a time frame for the response. When we do data verification, when we receive the outcomes, and in the opinion of management or regulatory authorities, these outcomes are not appropriate, this data can be returned for correction, and the system would show you where is the error and how it happened, and the officer would have to check it and correct the error or prove that there is no error in this case. If you would like to have more details, please watch the webinar, and on this slide you see the processes and where it happens and how it happens. You cannot just show where in this case we are talking about mining processes, but on the system you'll see a flag that will drive your attention for particular request. If you're interested where mining is happening, you'll see the flags where it happens. If you are interested in emergencies, you'll see the flags that will demonstrate it. In any case, the system will show you flags that deserves your attention. Here we're talking about processes management. Again, you see what could be additional functions and how one can control. And on this slide, if you would like to load down the presentation, you can press on the button and you can see how mining operations planning is happening. The plans are made and then these plans are sent to the database. First, the database verifies it and then the processing starts. And then you can add some economic data that can be uploaded from one SO from SAP systems, and then it grows to the mining plan or to some other documents. But all these things are happening much faster than if otherwise. The advantage of this system is that it does not provide an opportunity to forget that you have to pay your attention at a particular document, consider it, criticize it, or approve it. So the process of approvals are accelerated, and if someone has forgotten it, then this document will move to the next level of decision making. And on this slide, you see the things that I have already delivered, how it happens, how the things are moved, and you can make any imagery in the forms that you are used to. Actually, we have two soft functionals. You may not just abandon the programs and software products you used to work. You may continue using it, and you can also keep the ways of presenting the information you are used to. You can set up the system in such a way that you'll receive the data in the format that you are used to. Thank you, Nikolai. If you have any questions, you are welcome. And we can also share this presentation and respond to any questions that you may have. Thank you. The next topic is improvement of quality and database, and it will be presented by Alexandra Zakaluk, Micromine Company. Good afternoon to everyone. Yes, I like the idea when you are welcoming the speaker that you provide a round of applauses. Thank you very much. The contact is established. As my manager used to say, you're manipulating me. Yes, it is so. I'm manipulating you. Let us start. Even it's not a standard, this is just serious topic. And I will discuss the topic of dispatcherization. You know that Macromine has the whole line of software, and one of this area is Micromine P-Trunk dispatchering systems, a system of mine transport control and the systems of transport moving inside open pit or mine. I will discuss what are the modules and means can improve the quality of data and the speed of this data arrival to dispatching center or control center. It's not a secret that any data that arrive into control center may get to a system manually or through voice communication or through other communication means, and then the controller can input this information into a system. But all the companies in Kazakhstan is not an exclusion, are taking efforts to turn to the biggest digitalization of a mine, so as indicators were collected and submitted to the control point. And this now let us move to operational information collection at the enterprise. In the slide you see The company has significant fleet of machinery and significant steps for rock mass movement, and all these things need to be accounted in terms of number of tons and grades, who did that, what machinery was used. All this information needs to be collected. Once in, if we are talking about 5 units of machinery, everything can be done manually and introduced into Excel tables system after the end of the ship. But if you're talking about 200 units of machinery, then this task becomes very difficult for controlling specialists. I visited the enterprises when they had 2 or 3 control operators, and as they all the time calling to the drivers of dump trucks, and it may result to collapse if one of the specialists will not come to work. The more we automate the enterprise, the more we automate every step in this movement, the better this fleet will be controlled, and the more control we'll have over the rock mass movement. And one of the decisions on how we can automate the arrival of this data is to install different sensors at a mine. As an example, we put on board computer to reflect all, to send all information to operator. We also can install weight measuring complex, a complex that measures pressure in the tires, positioning points if we're talking about the mine, and any possible sensor of pressure in the drive. All this can be done, and using the company's infrastructure, all this information can be delivered to operations control center. But let us move to our solution, so-called machinery vision, that allows excludes the role of operators, the loader, and arrival of manipulation with the data that you receive from loading device. That includes movement of road mass and road mass loading into a dump truck. On this video you see how the loader works, and our system allows to identify the status of a loader in a particular time. At the left video in gray you can see the line that showed loaded. It means that the system automatically identifies that the loader have its shovel loaded. Now it is dumping, it means that it's empty. So on this video you see how AI analyzes pictures that arrive to a system. Our developers, and it's not a secret that all of you drive in cars and you receive your fines based on your number of atom of plate. So we use neural networks and comparison, and our developers thought why not to copy the system and use it in mining sector. So AI is used that analyzes for pictures per second. The system automatically make a decision on the status of a loaded, and using the complex that has been installed on a truck, it's a weight measuring complex, and we calculate movement of rock mass, and we integrate with positioning system. We understand that this rock mass moved from location A to location B, and we understand that load does not just move the rock in the same location. It is very important to account the movement of the rock mass. When this module was introduced, in this case, the role of the operator was excluded from arrival of operational information to operating control center, and it is very important. This solution is also a small video recorder, and this is a base of video materials that is accumulated in the onboard computer. It is preserved, and in some situations you can analyze it and make any possible conclusions that may happen in the mine, and in terms of movement of load through the mine. And I'll explain how our next solution works.
This system collects images and then it transforms the truck into specific mode, downloading, uploading, or staging in a queue for downloading. Then we have P2P solution for transmission of data where infrastructure is missing. In the mine, there are certain sections where infrastructure assembling is challenging. Quite often, and we will also look into the upper parts of the slide and how this module works. On the truck, we install special software, and once it approaches the download machine, it collects all data to its tablet, and as soon as it reaches the Wi-Fi covered zone, it transmits this data to the PTRAM server. Same thing with the drilling machine. We can equip it with a software. It visits the pit. It brings some materials and periodically visits the drills. And once it reaches the well, it collects and transmits the data to the server and to control center. And once a service engineer reaches the Wi-Fi covered zone, the data is transmitted and sent to control center to make sure that the company has all data available almost immediately at the moment. Our next solution to improve the quality and accuracy of data, like any other global developers of software, we support REST-API, and in this slide, it's a solution with Epiroc. We integrate it in many projects, and from their cloud system, we collect different types of information, such as boomer, MT, motor hours, and any other details about characteristics typical for an operational phase. It allows the company to have a better management capability. I remember, for example, in my practice, some truck drivers they cheat on their work hours. Sometimes a truck may engine truck may be in working mode and it doesn't need to move. So an operator will be asked certain questions when there are inconsistencies between the data collected from software and the data collected from the truck driver. So that to avoid such situations, we use this solution. Here is another solution intended for the company's management on the basis of tablet or iOS or Android. You install a special app, Petram Connect, and using your own device, you're able to see the pieces of equipment, the resources, how many employees are working, whether they are keeping up with the schedule and without any direct impact between the application and production. Every manager can have this data at his fingertips. We believe it is convenient and very modern. Maybe you don't see it quite well, but we are proud to present where our system functions. 54 companies all over the world have been using Petram system, and we have even one Kazakh company which has both mines and quarries, and we have 54 companies in total, because Australia was the regional country which started this development. It's uh, it's from Australian continent, but we grew up uh, taking the new markets, and even in Kazakhstan we have our clients. Here is a list of some of the clients who are the leading companies, and we are proud to have them as our customers. And hopefully, your logo will be included into this slide, will be added to the slide. Thank you for your attention. Thank you, Alexander. And our last speaker, who will speak online, Mikhail Nazarenko, who is going to speak about the K-Mine platform. We want to present K-Mine system for our complex digital transformation process for Kostanay Minerals, joint stock company. I am from Kain Group. Uh, we have been 27 years in IT market for mining. We have over 500 partners. We completed over 200 projects. We have more than 5,000 cases, licenses for our customers. We have certified ISO certified management. And at the moment, we have offices in Europe, United States, and Singapore. Uh, the services that we offer includes K-mine basis and automated solutions, adjustments, and also we offer some off-the-shelf solutions. We have a team which is dealing with design work in mining and geology and economic assessment of deposits, geomechanical assessment of resilience, which includes deposits and mines. What is a geo data system? It's a single geological nuclear that includes various elements such as geology, design, drilling, and lost activity, explosive activities, granulometric composition, control of mining operations, development of infrastructural models in mining in the mountain facilities. What are our strong sides? All data in our system are present in a single database and in a single space. We have multi-layer access to the data and rights to possess the data. We have a user agreement. The system allows to operate in different coordination systems. There is a simplified integration system with different dispatching and control center systems, ERP systems, and so on. There is a preprint and print module of project design documentation with all existing standards. And we have so-called 24/7 customer supports. I'm going to present one of our cases in the northern western part of Kazakhstan. There is a joint stock company, Kostanayskiy Minerалы, who is the leader of Hryzatel asbest. When we started the introduction of this system, the automation solutions for mining processes were not available. The storage facility was not available. We tried to introduce different types of mining data, because of the complicated structure of deposits with the minimum results of different types of electronic equipments, quadricopters, and so on. There were so many errors and inconsistencies that we encountered in paper documents and in electronic files. And there was no element of analysis of rational decisions in planning and design of mining works. The task we faced included creation of a storage facility for mark shader geological production section. It was necessary to create digital models of deposit, surface of core, transport communication, buildings and facilities, power grids, and other communication facilities. It was necessary to issue a lot of licenses to train the team to adjust to adjust this technology to the requirements of our customer and to basically provide technical support to our clients. As a result, we created a uniform digital database which included different types of Excel documents, maps. We exported many documents from other systems. We used tablets and everything what was available from other software. We put them all together. As a result, we developed a digital model of the mine, deposit, geological model of the mine, and different infrastructure facilities and buildings model. As a result, it became possible to have economically viable planning with the development of the final contour of deposits and operating elements with analysis during shifts in accordance with specific preset criteria. We launched the system of design and mining works with the drilling operations, which became possible through electronic solutions with precise positioning of direct transmission of data to the drilling equipment. Once the drilling sensors once the drills are equipped with sensors, we will be able to improve some other operational steps. We also verify the quality of exploded mine mass with the help of the drones. The we optimize the processes, we optimize the crashing processes to make it more precise and accurate with established parameters. We integrated a command system with the existing system of task dispatching, and Kostanayski Minerалы Joy Stock companies use AASK for operation, which was integrated with the control center and with the possibility to send plan tasks verified with parameters of equipment deployed and with the possibility to monitor any deviation from the plan and replanning of mining works.
We started using models of assessment of stability of walls of open pits and dumps. Based on geophysical models, we managed to assess sustainability both of the sections of the walls and entire walls in open pits and dumping facilities, and also we managed to use the regulatory document and identify digital deviations based on digital models like inclination of a slope in open pit and dumping facility. It resulted in improvement of safety of mining operations, and it became possible to decrease probability of deviations from the norms of indicators, and that improve safety of mining operations. Automated system of mining operations control started looking, as you may see on the slide, when surveying and geological units add and update information using modern geodetic equipment, and even in geology department we connected special electronic tomographers that allowed adjustment of certain geological contacts and the parameters of all bodies occurrence that allowed to update carcass and block-based model. Technical units started using planning of mines, a design of drilling and blasting operation, analysis of sustainability, control of mining operation. All this information gets to a uniform database, and operational department deals with daily and shift planning and issuing tasks for operation control system. After the open pit or dumped are processed with appropriate vehicles, excavators, drilling rigs, all the information is updated and transmitted to uniform data storage for the ability of its adjustment and to continuation of planned tasks. The system is connected to ERP system of the company, and this system provides certain data on about the skills of preventive maintenance or technical maintenance to ensure operational daily or shiftly tasks. And this information also contains technological indicators that would allow calculation of economic parameters of the company work. And as a result of implementation system KMine, we improved economic indicators of a company at planning, designing, and management of technological process through multi-optional mining planning and the analysis of technological situation, reduction of equipment idle time, and as a result, improvement of the factor of equipment operations, improvement of indicators of rock mass, blasting on reduction of non of size rock, and also it allowed us to improve comprehensive mining planning in automated mode. We improved safety of mining operations on the fact that people decrease their presence in certain hazard zones, that we started more regular assessment of geomechanic situation in the rock mass, and that we decrease the number of any possible deviations from normal indicators. These are the key things that have been reached at the company. In principle, I will close my presentation with it. If you have any questions, you are welcome to ask them. On the slide, you see our contact details. You can ask your question in uh, electronic mode, and I can respond some questions now or after this conference. Thank you, Mikhail. We are thankful for your participation, for your presence in the session, and the session is over.